What is the difference between this type of silver and that type? Well, it is huge, and it helps to tell the story of the shocking truth of silver in this present time. And there is a surprise also that I think you'll be quite astonished to hear about. And we'll discuss it all in this video as we explore. There's no question that silver is the most versatile metal on the periodic table. Not only does it come in all shapes and sizes and forms, but it has over 10,000 uses. And that is part of the amazing story that silver tells us through the course of time. In fact, the way that it's perceived and viewed has changed dramatically, even in the last 10 years. That's part of the shocking truth that I'm going to be sharing with you. But before we get there, you have to understand that that versatility plays and bleeds over into the silver market in terms of the spot price. There's a lot of volatility. There's versatility in the uses of silver, as we know, and there's volatility in the silver markets. The price moves all over the place, frustrating stackers, but it also provides an opportunity if your budget allows. When you're shopping for silver, check out summitmetals.com. And if you look at their silver tab here, they have a pretty decent selection for a new bullion dealer and very competitive prices. They do run specials from time to time, so check them out and look at their selection over at summitmetals.com. And also, if you want a direct competitor to eBay, there's something really big coming soon. Sign up at goldsilverswap.com. You can register today for early access and exclusivity. It's got a lot of good stuff over there. And so check out goldsilverswap.com for all the details. You can check it out there. Let me know what your thoughts are. But silver is a pretty amazing metal for sure. And when we buy it, we usually don't buy it in 5 kilogram bars like this. In fact, most of us don't even get kilogram size bars. Sometimes we get the 100-ounce bars, but when you're stacking silver, you have to look beyond the different formats that you can get them and find the best deal. Usually there's not much savings when you buy above a kilo. There's maybe a little bit, but not a whole lot. Of course, buying in volume certainly is key, and the bigger bars you get, the tougher it is to kind of liquidate those, and there is a possibility that they could be drilled down into and be filled in with a lead or something or some other metal. You've probably seen the Pawn Stars episode where that occurred. But what's amazing about silver is its uses. Its uses have really shifted, and the demand fundamentals for those have shifted greatly. And this is a new visualization about silver demand from 2015 to the 2024. So 9 years, and the shifting fundamentals have played a big role here. Now, the biggest shock is going to be this number here and what's going on in net physical investment. But we're going to go down through these and pick apart what's happening here. What really doesn't shock us is the biggest number here. This is quite intriguing. Silver demand for electrical and electronics, which excludes photovoltaics. And we've seen an almost 20% increase in the last 9-10 years here for silver in electrical and electronics. Demand is growing for sure. And when it's all said and done, silver mining is not keeping up with the demand. So this is a pretty dramatic move here for electrical and electronics, but not surprising at all. Photovoltaics has increased dramatically, 289%. Again, not much of a surprise. We've known this. We've seen this trending upwards for a long time. In fact, they're probably producing too many solar panels at this point, especially in China. In China, they're producing so many there, as I've outlined in previous videos, that they are using some of these for fence hedgerows, for some of these solar panels, for those, repurposing them, essentially. It's pretty crazy. But this is the real shocker. Now we know that silver demand for net physical investment, which includes coins and bars and rounds, has fallen, especially this year. But this is the past 9 years. It has fallen 31.46%. And to me, that is a shock, because when you aggregate it all together, it's still a very massive drop. I don't know what it would be over the past 2 years, but my guess is probably that'd be a much bigger number if you span it out over the last 2 years. So this is a shock. folks are not buying as much silver in the form of bars and coins. And likely, and we do know that most of this has occurred really in the last couple of years, but still, it tells us something. It tells us that some people are getting fed up with silver. I can't tell you how many times people have come to my channel and say, once it hits $30, I'm out. I'm done. I've been trying to tell folks to hold on to their silver. Maybe stop buying if you don't feel like buying, if you don't understand the markets, or maybe that's not the correct term. Maybe you're frustrated with the markets. You're frustrated with the markets. Just hold on to what you have. Sooner or later, it's going to catch up, and you're going to be able to realize what silver's purpose is in terms of net physical investment. Of course, I don't like that term investment. It's a hedge. It's a savings vehicle. It protects against inflation and against economic instability. And by the way, yes, it also protects against deflation. Highly unlikely that's going to happen, but I did a video about that very topic, and it can protect you against deflationary forces as well. But physical silver in the form of coins, rounds, and bars is something that's declining. And this surprises me that it's that much. And so it's very interesting indeed. Just people are not buying, and they're doing a lot of selling right now at this point in time. But it's something. When you think about silver, I can't tell you how many times I've gone into some of the local coin shops in my area, and they've told me, they said, we have an influx of silver. We have too much of it. We're paying people, much less for it under spot than we normally would in a normal market. It's crazy, but that's what's happening. That's the world we live in, and that is the nature of the game, apparently, with the market, with the silver market, with the bullion market. There just is not as much being bought and consumed by us, the individuals. And of course, in a sense, it does not matter to the overall silver market, because there's a lot of silver being gobbled up in electronics, photovoltaics, and also jewelry. And this is part of the little surprise here. The part of the little surprise is that jewelry has gone up. Investment in jewelry has gone up. I'm actually surprised that that's the case. You want to talk about a high premium market, the silver jewelry market is it. But it's a little bit of a surprise. It's up 4.35% over the past 10 years here. But when I think about it a little bit further, it really should not surprise me, because probably most of that demand is coming out of India. I have talked about that, and also maybe even China to some extent, because gold has gotten so expensive, has reached all-time highs since multiple times. Gold has reached all-time highs since these data were aggregated here. And so therefore, people are moving more towards silver jewelry as opposed to gold jewelry, much less expensive. So I guess that's probably what that's about, and that makes sense. Now we move down here further, and we've got other industrial. Now, other industrial, this doesn't surprise me either. How many different items could this be utilized? And what about medical? My guess is probably medical is used in the electronics area, but other industrial, I'm not sure what that would constitute, but almost a 30% increase over the last 10 years or 9 years is a pretty good clip that we see here. And again, that really doesn't surprise me a whole lot. In other words, folks, silver is consumed at a remarkable rate, and the price is just now, I think, starting to reflect some of that demand. And people that were stacking and buying, back in 2014, 2015, they were probably sort of stacking, and probably much of this community, and I'm talking about in general, the stackers out there, the Crash JP Morgan, the Buy Silver Now, the Squeeze movement, has probably discouraged a lot of folks, because they were sold on the promise that silver is just going to skyrocket, and it's going to skyrocket any day now. Buy silver before it's too late. Well, it's never too late to buy silver, number one. Number two is we're just likely not going to see anything close to what we've been seeing with gold. And gold goes up because it's treasured. Silver goes up because it's consumed. And in this case, I think that's kind of what's happening. In other words, the amount of silver that is utilized for net physical investment pales in comparison to all the other uses out there. In fact, I don't know the exact numbers. A member of this community, Gen X Collectible, says it's 5%, but I think I don't know. I've heard anywhere between 5 and 25%. I don't know what the exact number is, but it's a much smaller piece of the pie. That's for sure, in terms of net physical investment. And but nonetheless, there it is. And so silver is a metal that, when you look at it in that regard, and there's less and less stackers out there, or less and less people buying right now, that is going to mean lower premiums, but also, the market is what it is, and more likely liquidating your silver, you're going to get burned probably in most cases, which is why a website like Gold Silver Swap is important, because you'll be able to buy and sell with your peers for very low fees, and be able to, get probably at least spot for it, if not more, for your silver. Of course, you have to take into account some other things, some of those fees, if you want to get it authenticated, because they will provide that service as well too. But that's going to be an exciting thing, so that sellers of silver won't get burned by selling to a bullion dealer or local coin shop. Now, jewelry, again, another one of those things that has gone up there, and other industrial. But this is the surprise. This is the surprise right here, folks. Silverware. I have not seen any new silverware made of silver anywhere in the last 9-10 years. I don't know where you can get it. I guess I can probably Google search it. Not that I buy any silverware that you see out there. Most people are selling it off to get melted down. Turns into scrap. I've actually bought some from a local coin shop, and have shown some on the channel. Silver spoon. I was not born with one in my mouth, but I've got one that I can put in my mouth now that I paid, over spot for. But nonetheless, I've not seen any new silverware. But apparently, over the last 9-10 years, it has gone up almost a percent there. So that was the surprise. That kind of shocked me there. Brazing alloys and solders. I thought maybe for sure, considering the industrial uses here, that this number would be closer to 30% here. It's only up 1.37%. My guess is probably they can do more with less in terms of brazing alloys and solders. I guess that's what it is. But photovoltaics are projected to account for 19% of global silver demand in 2024, totaling 232 million ounces, which is an increase of 289% compared to 2015. Photography, this does not surprise me that it's down. Not one iota does it surprise me that it's down that much over the past 10 years. And it doesn't surprise me that it's not disappeared either, because there are hardcore analog photographers out there, and I think that silver will still be used in photography for many years to come. It's not going away, but we could see it continue to decline, but likely probably not much more than where it is now, is my guess. So there you have it. Very interesting infographic here. Just thought I'd share this with the community. By the way, I like to share things like this about the news, analysis, things about silver. It's what this channel is about, analysis and the like. So if you enjoy what I do here, hope you will consider pressing the thumbs up button down below. I am trying to reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So if you are a new subscriber, I hope you will say hello in the comments below. And if you don't mind sharing the video as well, I very much appreciate it. With that, I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.